Hey everyone, welcome back to the Crafty Couple. Today we're going to do some really fun Dollar Tree DIYs and more along the boho style. So we hope you're excited for today's video. We made these using our Cricut Explore Air 2 and some very simple Dollar Tree items. So we hope you're excited for today's video. If you do enjoy it, please give it a thumbs up and let us know in the comments which project's your favorite. Like I mentioned, we're going to be using our Cricut Explore Air 2, and we'd like to thank Cricut for sponsoring this video. They recently sent us this machine. Now, we've wanted one for quite a while. We just have not gotten around to doing it, so we are very grateful for this opportunity to work with them, and we absolutely wish that we had gotten this earlier. So we wanted to show you a few crafts that we have made using the Cricut and how easy it is to get started. This is their design space, and this is where you can find a lot of inspiration and actual designs to create with your Cricut. And I'm not going to give a full tutorial on everything it can do. I wanted to give you an idea of how easy it is to get started. And we're going to start with this skull that I found here. And it really, you can go on here and search through tons and tons of different projects that you can cut with your own machine. I know sometimes getting into these machines can be intimidating. You're really not sure where to start or what to do. But all you really have to do is connect your machine to the design space and to a device like this iPad or your computer, and then you can start the process in a matter of minutes. Once we have everything sized up on our canvas here, we can move on to creating this project. So we're going to click on that bottom button, which is the Make It button, and it's going to start talking with our actual machine. Now, once we've connected these and we start moving on to this process, it's going to tell us the cutting blade that we need, and we can set it to the material that we're using. The Explore Air 2 can cut over 100 different materials, including this vinyl, some glitter vinyl, cork, paper, cardstock. There's really so many different things that you can do for this, which makes it perfect for everyday use if you're creating your own crafts for yourself, for family members, or if you even wanted to start creating items to sell. This is a perfect side hustle. And along with cutting, you can also use this for scoring and for drawing. So you can hook up some markers. They even have infusible ink markers that can go in here. You can draw out a design and then you can transfer that onto like a shirt or coaster, and it will be a permanent design on there. And after we've loaded everything up and pressed go, it's going to start that process automatically, and you can just sit back and enjoy it. It's kind of fun to watch it. It only takes a few minutes to complete a design like this as well. And our kids even had a lot of fun watching it. And then the end process, we ended up making a little dinosaur skull for one of our kids. He absolutely loves dinosaurs. So this is a lot of fun, not only for you, but for the kids to kind of get involved with and watch. You can make a lot of crafts for them as well. And if you guys have a Cricut, we'd love to know what your favorite part of it is and what you like to create the most. So let us know in the comments what you like most about your Cricut. Now that we have everything cut, we can move on to weeding, and that's simply removing any vinyl that we don't want to go on our project. And this is actually kind of a fun little process. It's cool to see the transformation and see your image start to come alive as you're removing these pieces. Now, it took me a little bit just because it was my first time, but it's a really simple process and kind of can be soothing. I'm sure some of you are a little bit quicker and have some hacks. So let us know in the comments if you have any tips or tricks to weeding. We'd love to hear and to share with those that are watching that maybe don't have a Cricut and are wanting to get started. Now that we're left with the vinyl that we want to go on our project, we're going to use some of this transfer tape and place this over top of that vinyl sticker and go ahead and squeegee that down. We want it to press down on all of that, so that essentially what we're going to do is remove this transfer tape, and it's going to pull up all that vinyl that we want to go on our project, and then we'll move that over to our actual surface. For this project, I'm just going to be using some foam board from Dollar Tree, and I'm cutting it at 13.5 inches. Now, this is just the size that I went with. You could do any size really, and I ended up trimming it in the end anyway. But one suggestion, if you did want to make this a little bit nicer, spend a little bit more money on it and maybe even turn this into some profit, you could go to your local hardware store, get a piece of wood, cut to size, stain it or paint it, go on to the design space, find something like this, cut it out, put it on there, and really not take up a lot of time, but probably make a pretty decent profit off of this item. And I'm actually kind of curious to see who out there is already doing this. So let us know in the comments if you guys already have a little side hustle doing this and what you like about it. Also, if you'd like to see us start doing some content on that, let us know. We also, you may not know this, but we also do flip items kind of as a side hustle, thrift store items. And especially now that we have the Cricut, we want to get into more making some of these signs and designs and selling more items. So let us know if that kind of content is interesting to you guys. Okay, and now that we have everything cut out and our transfer tape on there, we're going to start peeling that off. So you may have to squeegee some of those parts if it's not quite sticking to that transfer tape, but it should come off really easy for you. Next, we're just going to try and center this up on our design, and then try and not press it down firmly until you've got it to where you want it. And then you can start pressing it down and using that little squeegee to really get that vinyl to stick. And then after that, it's as simple as just removing that transfer tape, and then you're going to have your full complete design on your surface. And the last part here is to create the frame to go on our sign. So I'm just using one of these stakes from Walmart. You can get them for, I think it's about $1.50. And all I'm going to be doing here is cutting it to the size. So I measured out my foam, and then I'm going to cut one piece and then use that as a template. So whatever size your foam is, just go ahead and hold up your stick to that and then cut it. The easiest way I found to do this middle section is to just line up my other two pieces that I've already cut and then hold it where that gap is, and then I can mark it off there, because sometimes the different sides will measure a little bit differently. And then I'm going to be using this early American stain from Minwax to go ahead and stain all of those. And once I have all of those cut out, I can move on to gluing those down. I found it's easy to line them up and make sure they're fitting properly. Again, sometimes the different sides will vary just a little bit in length, so I like to hold it up and make sure that those are in place and going to work. As you can see, I have a little line drawn there at the bottom, and that's kind of the space that I want to glue these in. And I found that it's easiest to do the one side and then both of these sides that are connecting to that, and then finish on the opposite side here, as you can see, and then that's just going to fill in the gap. And it's really a simple project, but what you can do with the Cricut I think is absolutely amazing. It gives you a lot of different options for creating these home decor pieces.
This project was so easy to do. I got 2 of these wall pocket hangers that I'm pretty sure are new to Dollar Tree. I haven't seen them until just recently. I cut this out using our Cricut, and I think it came out so cute. It's very minimal, still modern, but very cutesy. And it is kind of this gold foil, which is really, really pretty on the black. Something that I wish I did for this project, since it does go around something that is curved, is I wish I cut the transfer tape on the bottom in a few spots and on the top so that it kind of curves with the whole entire project. That would have worked a lot easier. It did turn out just fine, but on the next one that we do, the straight line isn't as straight as it should be if you kind of use that technique and cut the transfer paper so that it just fits a lot easier. So this one, I can't keep any plants alive. I don't know if it's just a me thing or if you guys struggle with this too, but it doesn't matter what it is. I can't keep it alive. So this sign works great for me. And then I grabbed these magnets from Dollar Tree in the crafters section, and I'm just going to be putting them on the back. Don't put them in the little spaces that look like they're perfect for magnets. It is kind of curved in and it won't stick to whatever you're putting it on as well, like a fridge or a sign. These came out so cute, only cost about $2, $2 to $3, and you could sell them easily for about $10.
For these little planters, what I'm using are these gift boxes from Dollar Tree, and it says matte white for the spray paint, but I actually used gloss. I didn't have enough of the matte. And then just quick tip, when you're spray painting, make sure you keep a little bit of a distance, maybe like 6 inches, 8 inches, kind of just see how it's going on. But the main thing that you want to do is just mist the project. You don't want to just sit there and spray it heavily because it's going to drip if you do that. Add a few coats and kind of mist it, go back and forth on it, and that will really help with the drips. As far as this design, it's just one that I found on Design Space again, and I cut out 4 of these, and as you can see, I actually pulled up some of that design, but it was really easy to just stick back on there and then kind of squeegee it on, and it stuck just fine. And this is one of those projects where you've seen us do some of these really simple but high-end looking planters, but most of the time we don't really have a lot of designs on them. It's just a little bit difficult to do that with the tools that we had. The Cricut makes it so much easier to add some of these extra elements and designs to your projects, and that's what we really love about it. So we're really excited for the opportunity to now create even more for you guys, but also an opportunity for us to start a little business in creating and selling some of these crafts that we make with our Cricut. And I thought it would be fun just to add a little bit more to these boxes, and so I'm just using these little cubes from Dollar Tree. I stained them with that early American stain, and then I'm going to go ahead and glue them on each corner just to add a little bit more character and height on the box. I think the end result adds even more to it and kind of ups that level of quality. And for the second one, it's the smaller one. I already glued on those same cubes, and then I'm going to add another design that we cut off of there, and essentially just kind of the same thing. I'm sticking with that black vinyl and kind of a similar design. I wanted to go a little bit different, but I think the end result on both of these is really, really pretty. I love the designs and the look, and I think that these would definitely be statement pieces on a small table, entry table, coffee table, nightstand. I think these would be perfect, and they look absolutely stunning when they're complete.
If you guys have watched our channel for a while now, you know that I am really indecisive and don't know whether to put certain crafts in the video or not. This is one of them. My husband said it should make the video, but I'll let you guys just comment down below if this is cute or not. So this is actually Peppermint Cactus's technique on how to make foam board look like wood. I'll link her channel below. She's absolutely amazing and a good friend of ours. All I did was it was just kind of a random piece of foam board since I will be cutting it down to size, and you'll kind of dig in your thumbnail and make knots in the wood, and then you can take a different tool just to give it a lot more texture. And then I took this Waverly Antique wax, and you will need a lot more than I grabbed here, but grab quite a bit on a sponge and then go in just one direction. Don't do up and down if you're going side to side so that it looks like wood. Like I said, Peppermint Cactus does this way better than I can, and I followed all of her techniques, so definitely go check out her channel. She does amazing and such cute, inexpensive crafts. In the parts where there are little holes, just make sure to get the wax in there so that it doesn't look white. And this is what it looked like after. I think it came out pretty well for my first time doing this technique, and also making foam board look like wood. Then I took this elephant that we of course did with the Cricut, and I used that same kind of foil gold color because I'm obsessed with it. I just want to put that on everything. And then I just pressed it on the foam board. It doesn't warp the foam board at all, pressing it down, which I really loved. Something that's absolutely amazing about the Cricut is it's a really great investment. You won't feel like you're wasting your money spending that on a machine. You can make personalized gifts for your friends and your family and won't have to spend that at other stores. Also, this is great if you want to start your own business. This can be used to make so many different projects. You can search on Pinterest, just Cricut crafts, and there are hundreds and thousands of just crafts to do, and you can sell them locally on the marketplace and make a really good side income, which me and my husband are all about. Now I'm just cutting this foam board down to size. So I didn't cut it previously because I didn't know exactly the size of the elephant that I was going to be putting on. So now I am just cutting it and making sure it's even. And then don't forget to put wax on the edges so that it looks very finished. With the leftover pieces, I'm going to make a border. I just felt like just the plain wood was a little too just kind of boring. So I measured 1 inch out, and I'm going to be making 4 of these. A way that you can cut your foam board a little bit better is to go in with your knife just about halfway and make the cut all the way down, and then go down again and make the final cut. So you see here, I'm just kind of cutting the surface, and then I go back in and make kind of the final cut. It makes it so that it doesn't warp or ruin any of the edges. Go in and use the wax on all of those edges too, so that it doesn't show the white when you're doing your border. And then I measured out the top and the bottom one and cut to size. Since it already had that wood look, I was going to kind of give it a more antiqued, kind of whitewashed look. So I just took a brush and dry brushed some white Waverly chalk paint on top. Now that that's done, it's just time to hot glue them all on. So the top and the bottom one we already cut to size, but the 2 smaller ones we need to cut on the left and the right. This is a project that I was super unsure about, so let me know in the comments if you like it below. I cannot explain how hard it was to write any lettering or do anything cute like this without a Cricut. I had tried so many times with printing it and then doing charcoal on the back of a piece of paper and then tracing that and then hand painting it. That didn't work for me. I tried using Dollar Tree just letters and that didn't work. Guys, I've really tried everything and Cricut makes it so extremely easy. This took like 2 seconds and then I had this really cute home sign. I cut out a piece of foam board to fit. I did make it a little bit too small, but that's okay, we adjusted. And I'm going to be taking the frame off of this sign. It is just kind of this thick cardboard, but it looks like wood and I really, really liked it. Now that we have these pieces, I just need to cut them down to size to fit my foam board. And then once they are cut, just hot glue them on. I made the foam board a little bit too small, but ended up working out in the end. So I just peeled it up, placed it in the center, and then where the edges hit the wood, I'm just going to be using that little squeegee type thing and pushing it up against the sides so that it goes right to the edge between the wood and the foam board. And then I'm going to be taking a razor and just cutting it off. I have seen a few different Cricut hacks on like TikTok or on YouTube, but I would love to know your favorite Cricut hack in the comments below. To make it stand up, I'm just using a Jenga block that we got from Dollar Tree.
Thanks for watching, guys. We hope you enjoyed today's video. If you want to see more of these Cricut crafts, please let us know in the comments. We'd love to do more for you. And also check out our playlist of our other Dollar Tree DIYs right here. Have a wonderful day and make sure to subscribe and hit that bell icon so you can be notified every time we upload a new video.